Yeah, it's the most me I was in my early 20s when I was sort of like relentlessly pursuing my career. Hopefully my relationships weren't as compromised as his are, but somewhere in the middle. I think as you get older, not just in life but in career, you're able to kind of block stuff out more. But yeah, self-doubt. The good thing about having actual criticism and actual people root against you is you kind of realize, oh, I really have to be on my side, you know? And I don't think it has to come with a big career. I think you could be at home feeling like that. As far as, yeah, if you have one person who's rooting against you, that's more reason to be rooting for yourself. Great question. Yeah, absolutely. This has been thought about for centuries by many wise men, and it really has. As I said, or as I've quoted, you can get lost in the sauce, but without sauce, you're lost. You know? That's a funny thing to say, but it's really true, too. You know, it's a tremendous piece of work. This is a great movie.
Well, I just felt like it was I think it was the sum of the parts, really. I mean, it was such an amazing group of people. Josh really tempted me back once I got to know him and his work. And then, of course, you know, such a A-plus group of actors, and the script was so crazy, and I don't know, it came at a time in life where I felt like I was ready to try something different again, and I'm so glad I did, because it's just been, I mean, making the film was an incredibly rewarding experience. Well, exactly. I think what I really did like about their story too is that their age difference wasn't sort of a huge story point. They happened to be very different ages, but drawn to each other for very different reasons, and it wasn't sort of like a fetishized thing that she was older. You know, they each really wanted something from one another. And yes, it's a transaction, but I kind of like that the age thing is never really addressed. You know, yes, because he's like incredibly alive and encourages bravery and freedom and, like, you know, not a lot of blocking. And it was like he has a very interesting and specific way of working, and he really knows what he wants, but he's also open to seeing what transpires.